Welcome to a special edition of the Referrals podcast. Introducing our new Daily Dose. We've assembled the ultimate crisis response team for your business. Generous leaders from around the globe teaming up to teach, guide, and lead you through this time of isolation and quarantine. Now let's meet your host, Michael J. Maher.
Hey everybody, this is Michael J. Maher with another episode of the Daily Dose of positivity and productivity. Have you ever wondered what it would be to supercharge your business, to accelerate your business? What would it be like? Have you ever wondered if your small sphere of influence is preventing you from doing big business? Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? Yes. How does that question fit? So Finding Nemo, this is a story about a fish who actually is taken from his home. Sad story. And then his dad and Dory team up to find him. Dory and his dad go through a swarm of tentacles of these jellyfish, and they're dead. Basically, they're nearly dead. And if they were dead, it would end the movie, so you know they're not dead. So Dory and Nemo's dad come to, and Nemo's dad is on the back of all things, on the back of a turtle, a sea turtle. And the dad wakes up and is like, what's going on here? You know, thought he died, thought he'd gone to fish heaven. And the turtle's name was Crush. Do you guys remember the name of where Crush took Nemo's dad and Dory? Do you remember the name of that? I'll help you here. So the turtle was only moving his legs slightly, and yet they were going 180 to 200 miles an hour through the ocean. They were flying literally through the ocean. And yet their effort was very small. Do you remember where they went? It was called the East Australian Current. And they were going 180 miles an hour. And in fact, when Nemo's dad was out of business, like he was struggling, he was nearly death. He was so fortunate for Crush to take him into the East Australian Current, because if they wouldn't have, they would have never got to the end and found Nemo. I know, spoiler alert, they find him. But here's the thing, is I want you to know that that's what networking is like. Networking is taking you wherever you're doing. You're trying to do it on your own. Maybe you're trying to do it with your very short-memoried friends. You're trying to do it with these different people. But the fact of the matter is once you step into the networking world in your local market, it is like the East Australian Current. And here's the interesting thing about this. What's another word for money? It's currency. Now, why do they call it currency? It's because money has an energy about it, and money runs in currents. And you know what? Money runs in currents through networking groups. Networking groups are hubs of currency. And that's what we're going to talk about today with the networking expert, Gina Bordeaux. I cannot wait to deliver that to you. I cannot wait for you to see that. But I will tell you, I'm going to make you wait because I have to do the announcements. So sorry, everybody. But that's my hook, and I'm good with it. All right. So today, I will tell you that it is an awesome day. You need to do your daily 5. It is 5 calls, 5 VIP forms, 5 handwritten notes, 5 invites to your Facebook group. And you're like, I only have 5 people in my Facebook group. It's okay. They're 5 great people. Make them moderators, make them admins, whatever you got to do. But here's the thing, do your daily 5. The other thing is make sure that you have created your Facebook page and are leading your Facebook page, no matter how small it is. It's okay. Every single group started with 1 member. You just have to remember that. You're like, oh, they've got 54,000 or they've got 7,000 or they've got 4,000. Who cares? It's quality over quantity, baby. And it's you need to build your own Facebook group. Now, we have a time management check-in with Neil Smith Thursday, which might be today for those of you that are watching this, or it could be tomorrow, or it could have been yesterday. But if you did the time management class, it is 2:30 p.m. today as a check-in, or Thursday, excuse me. And then also, very important, is we have our new 30 Mornings class starting May 11th. 30mornings.com. Go check it out. I will tell you, I've got to give you I got to give a shout out here to Terry Lawson, who just is going through this right now. Terry, out of Alaska, by the way, says 30 mornings changed my life. By the way, that's my lead in, right? Can you change your life in 30 mornings? Yes, you can. Notice the double use of 30 mornings right there. You see what I did? Okay. So it had such an impact that I signed up again for the May class and also gifted one to my daughter. If you do not have a morning ritual or wake up like a bear, this program teaches you a ritual that sets the tone for your entire day. We are truly blessed to have top-notch instructors at a nominal price. I would love to see you join me. And our instructors for that, I have to give a shout out to Shalee Davis and Neil Smith, who are teaching the West Coast version of that. We also have the East Coast version, which is extremely popular, Tony and Jen Scarparo. Both of those sold out in April. So go check it out at 30mornings.com. I will tell you, if the only thing you got out of the entire quarantine time was an established morning ritual you could call your own, that you really felt like launched your day the proper way, then you win. So now, for those of you that are watching this, this is your helpful hint. This is your start your watch party. If you do not know how to start a watch party, it's very simple. You go to share right down below, click on share, it'll come up, and one of the options is start watch party. Click on start watch party, and then you will find that Generosity Generation group is the one that's pre-selected. Do not share it in there, please. You want to type in your own group, or you don't have to share it in a group. You can actually share this on your personal profile. And I would tell you that if you're into networking, if you see the power of networking, when you see the rest of this, you're going to see an amazing amount of value for this. And the bottom line is you can start this on your personal profile or in your group. Start this now. Without further ado, I've got to first of all say thank you to our guest today. Gina Bordeaux is a Navy veteran, so thank you for your service. She holds a bachelor degree in computer science. She has an MBA and is currently pursuing a graphic design specialization from the California Institute of the Arts. The Knoxville Business Journal recognized her as a 40 Under 40 award winner in 2011. She is the founder and CEO of the Southside Women's Network of Coastal Virginia and works as a small business coach and freelance web designer. And I will tell you that if you need an online presence, you're brick and mortar and you need an online presence, this is the girl to go to. This is the gal. This is the lady. This is the expert who will help you not just have an online presence, but truly have a special and attractive online presence. So without further ado, Gina Bordeaux, welcome to the Daily Dose.
Hello, and thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, we're talking about networking today, and we're talking about live versus virtual, and maybe it's not a versus thing. Maybe it's a live and virtual eventually. But, the first question I have for you is, oh, you know what? I want to ask you a couple questions first. Can I model this for the people? I have a VIP form, and honestly, it allows me to get to know you a little bit better. It allows my audience to get to know you a little bit better. And honestly, I want to get to know you a little bit better. So is that okay? It's
Sure.
like very quick, 7 or 8 questions. Sound good?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. What's your birth date?
October 2nd.
Very good. I'm going to see how clairvoyant I am. Okay. So what's your hometown? I'm going to guess Houston.
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Oh my God. Houston, we have a problem, right? And let's see. So most people would consider you what? Are you straight to the point, social and outgoing, steady and dependable, or cautious and perfectly accurate if you can only pick one?
Straight and to the point.
All right. So if you had to pick a second one, what would it be?
Social and outgoing.
Okay, very good. And then here we go. I'm going to go clairvoyant again, right? Your husband's name is Matt.
Yes.
Yes.
Good
That
job.
is incredible. I am 2 for 2. And all right, so what's his birthday?
July 5th.
So Independence Day, birthday. How
Yes.
cool is that? He was almost born on the 4th of July, like Tom Cruise. Actually, I don't know if Tom Cruise was born on the 4th of July, but your anniversary is, let me guess, May 15th.
Yes.
Oh my God. Listen, it's like today is the day. Wow. And I will tell you, I would have even guessed earlier. All right, your spouse, Matt, is either steady and dependable and cautious and perfectly accurate, or cautious and perfectly accurate and steady and dependable. Which would it be? Is he more steady and dependable or more cautious and perfectly accurate?
Steady and dependable.
All right. And just so you guys know is that I want you to know, yes, I am clairvoyant and I can predict the future, but we will come out of quarantine times. That's my prediction. I want you to know that the all clear will be sounded eventually. So I want you to know that's going to happen. But I will tell you, even though I know the answer to this, I want you to know that with Gina being a 1-2, she is a straight to the point, social and outgoing person. It is highly likely that she married someone that is steady and dependable and cautious and perfectly accurate, because the steady and dependable, cautious and perfectly accurate person protects the straight to the point, social and outgoing person from themselves, right? We tend to marry our opposites. It is true. We tend to have opposites attract, which is why the DISC is so important to know, because they don't see life like you do. So you need to understand how they see life, and the disc helps you do that. Thank God we had that session a few days ago with Tammy Ebright. So you have 2 children, 2 adult children, right?
Yes, Justin and
what are their
Jessica.
names? Justin and Jessica. How
Yes.
old's Justin?
26,
All right. How old's Jessica?
25.
All right. And what are their birthdays? What's Justin's birthday? I know, I'm pushing it. Yeah.
June 1st.
Oh, another Gemini like me. Yay. What's Jessica?
September 1st.
9/1. They made it really easy for you to remember, having it on the
Yes.
first like that. And then
Yes.
you have a couple of pets. Is that right?
Yes, I have 2 dogs, Mike and Rollo.
Rollo. Are they boy dogs?
Yes, they're both males.
What
They're
kind?
both 85 pounds. Mike is an American bully,
Okay.
and then Rollo is a mixed breed, very exotic.
Hey, here's to the mixes, right? The mutts of the world. Gotta love them.
They're both
right,
rescues.
Oh, I like that. Does that mean something to you? I mean, are you a big rescue dog person?
I do. I think they're more loyal than regular dogs.
Huh.
Regular's probably not the
Maybe
right
you're
word, but
more loyal to them.
that could be.
You have a sense for their story, right?
Yes.
So what's your favorite color?
Black.
You know what? Today I'll wear black just for you. What's your favorite TV show?
Oh, that's a hard one.
No, that's a good one. We'll just skip it. Favorite I mean, here's the thing, right? You didn't say Tiger King. You didn't say Expedition Unknown, right? I mean, it's like we've heard a lot of crazy things. Do you have a show that you record?
I've watched Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I've watched everything. I think the latest thing I watched was Waco.
Okay.
Was a different perspective I didn't expect.
Well, you're from Houston, so Waco is definitely a different perspective. I'll just say that. I mean, that's what Texas is. Texas is like its own country, right? Houston is so different than Dallas. Dallas is so different from Austin, and Austin is so different from Waco, and Waco is so different from the west side with not El Dorado. I'm thinking
El Paso.
El Paso, right? So it's like, I mean, it's like its own country. It's a mixed mash. So let's see, favorite dessert.
Tiramisu.
Okay. And favorite alcoholic beverage? If you were going to go to a bar or eat dinner, what kind of drink would you order?
A glass of Sauvignon Blanc.
Not Bordeaux, seriously?
No.
Going with the what? All right. Let's see, favorite athletic or sports team?
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And the Texas Rangers.
Oh, there we go. All right. Rangers I can live with. The Cowboys, I mean, I'm just saying. All right. I dream of someday. What are you going to do someday?
Backpack Europe.
Yeah. So on your bucket list is backpacking Europe. How cool is that? And just so you know, right, backpacking Europe means taking your backpack and then riding trains and getting into car, so let's
Staying
see,
in hostels.
what's your favorite vacation spot ever?
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, DR, man. That's amazing. I literally just recorded a video 2 days ago on what I learned in the Dominican from the baseball players there. So I'm a big DR fan. I love it. I'm a big Gina Bordeaux fan. I love it. Thanks, everybody. It took me less time. It took me 5.5 minutes to do that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, what I wanted to do there, besides letting everybody here know more about Gina, is I wanted to model the behavior that I want you to do, which is make a call or do a Zoom, ask the VIP questions. It takes less than 7 minutes. And Gina, was that bothersome?
No.
Was it kind of fun, actually?
It was.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. And now let's jump into the subject of the day, which is networking. And I use the example of the East Australian Current as far as what it did for my business in Kansas City. Is as soon as I got into the networking realm, my business exploded. My real estate business just absolutely went from kind of like steady growth to explosive growth. And it was not even any more effort. It just seemed like. So how did you get started in the networking game? What was your first networking event ever, or what made you decide to go?
My first networking event was when I was working at the Y-12 National Security Complex in Oak Ridge. It's a Department of Energy facility, and I was part of the business development team. So we would go to chamber events, economic development events, just various local, Tennessee Valley Authority, just random events there. And so I was representing the company and trying to bring in business. And it had a very salesy approach to it. Everyone wants to know where you work, what your budget is. And it's not very personal. You have the chicken dinner, or rubber chicken lunches, I guess is what we called it. And the speaker, and it was always the same thing and the same people, and just very superficial.
Wow. So with that start, it's amazing that you continued doing it. So you did it almost like it was like a forced part of your job. Yes.
Yes, it was.
So maybe that was a part of it. And then, so you did that for them, but then you got out of the Navy. Yes. And
Well, this was when I worked for the Department of Energy.
Okay.
After the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, I moved to Virginia Beach, Norfolk area, and I had bought a franchise and realized that I needed to network. So I started reaching out to the local organizations that I was familiar with, but it still had that same salesy, superficial feel. And I met a woman at David's Bridal. I was working at an event there, and she told me that I should check out the Peninsula Women's Network. And so I went, and I was amazed at how well the women knew each other and that were friends outside the organization. It wasn't superficial. They were truly friends. They went to each other's events. They supported each other. They helped each other with resources. And I, was on the board at one point, and then I decided to leave so I could start it on the south side. We're separated by a body of water that people don't want to go through the tunnel. It's some weird nuance to the area. And so I cover a territory of 5 cities. We get together once a month in each one of the cities in small groups, and then we have monthly socials, and everything's open to the public. And we focus on building our relationships. We don't have meeting quotas, no referral quotas, and because I believe that relationships will evolve and referrals will naturally happen through that. And through that, I've actually met some very exciting and prominent women in the city that I'm excited to work with.
So who's somebody you've met? I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Like, I mean, that's the thing is like, who would you have met if you weren't networking? That's always a good question. Like, or who would you have not met as fast by going through your sphere of influence?
Right. So the first person that comes to mind is Elizabeth Duncan Hawker. Give her a little shout out.
Yeah.
She's the founder of growthnetworking.com and Red Hawk Strategic Solutions. And she teaches you how to network, the physical aspect of it.
Mhm.
It's how to enter the room, how to read body language, know when to approach people, when not to approach people. And it's helped the ladies in my group, understand how networking events are different than social occasions.
All right. So I've got to dive into those, like what did you learn, because I really think that what we're doing here with this show is we're kind of flowing from live networking and what you learn from there to the virtual networking, which is our real reality today. We're not doing any live networking. We're all doing virtual networking in one aspect or another. And I will tell you, if you're watching this, do me a favor, comment below, is rank yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 on networking. How much and how often are you networking? 0 just simply means you're not doing any networking. 5 is maybe you're going to one event a month, maybe 2 events a month. And a 10 is you are going to a networking event maybe once or twice a week, or even once a week, and you are passing, and maybe you're like a 10 is like Gina, you own and oversee a franchise or a region, or you've started your own networking group. That would probably be a 10. So rank yourself below 0 to 10, where you're at on networking. And listen, that's networking, not working, right? Don't rank yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 on not working, right? 0 would be not working. 10 would be you're perfect at not working. That's not what we're talking about, right? We're talking about networking.
Are you enjoying the Daily Dose? Want to connect with thousands of other business owners that are winning the referral game while working from home right now? Head over to the Generosity Generation Facebook group. Connect with leaders, visionaries, and business owners from all over the world. Go to www.joingengen.com. That's www.joingengen.com.
So what did you learn about entering the room from Elizabeth Duncan Hawker? I can't wait. Or what is something that you she had an idea and then you expanded on it?
Right. So one of the things that I was surprised about was that you need to be calm, cool, and collected from the time that you get out of your car. You don't want to be talking on the phone, juggling a bunch of papers. You want to be, because you never know who's looking at you, who's in the lobby, hasn't made it to the space yet. And so your first impression actually starts when you get out of the car. And
okay,
then
drop
also,
the mic. It's like networking starts when you arrive at the event. Like,
yes.
Put your phone down, put it in your purse, put it on stun, put it, wherever you need to put it to turn it off, and realize that you are going to be there 100%. I have to tell you, how many people has been judged when they're walking up to the networking group and they're on their phone and they're talking a little bit loudly or obnoxiously or trying to negotiate a contract, literally while they're jumbling and going into, and it's just like you kind of look at that person. It's like, really, it's like they think you're either showing off or you're just too busy for networking or you're just rude, I absolutely love that. Networking starts when you arrive. So put things away, put everything away. I love it. How about what else on entry or entering the room, actually entering the room?
It's you want to go to the back of the room and observe everyone, because you need to, your time there is to interact with other people. So you want to look for people that are standing open and not face to face. Because if they're face to face or their bodies are together, then they're closed off. And so if you try to walk up and they don't expand the circle, then you'll have the awkward moment. So you want to look for people that are half open and there's space in the circle to walk into.
Yeah, love that. That's, you're reading the body language, and also maybe when you walk in, you register. You walk in, just make sure your posture is up. Your chin and your forehead is up, and they even say, hey, make sure when you go in, you take a second to observe the environment versus just instantly going to the first person to your right and starting to talk to them. Just take a, I have to tell you, that's what we do with like theme parks as a family, is we'll take the map and we'll literally maybe walk the whole thing before we do anything, because a long time ago we did this and we ended up kind of going through, and then it was time to go. And there were 3 or 4 things that we didn't get a chance to do, and we didn't even know about it at the other end of the park. So it's like, take in the environment, take in the whole thing. And you might be surprised at what you notice when you do a helicopter or almost like a drone look over the room first before things happen, So I love that. I love that. And then like, what else did you learn from Elizabeth Duncan Hawker in a live setting? And then we'll rock and roll on the virtual setting.
Whenever you enter the room, after you've observed everywhere or around the room, you want to look for people that you know. So you can do a quick, hi, how are you? But you don't have the expectation that you need to have an in-depth conversation because you know them well. You're there to meet the people that you don't know.
Right.
So it's good to acknowledge their presence, say hello, and then continue on. Or if they are talking to someone that you want to meet, then you go up to them and say, can you introduce me to Fred? Whoever that you want to meet.
Yeah, we need to realize that the reason we're networking is to, yes, maintain relationships, but we're also there to develop new relationships. And we need to keep the why in mind when we attend these. And so what are some ways to find online events now that we're all quarantined? There are no live networking events right now. So what are some ways to find online events that I could attend? And I have to tell you that everybody needs to do this. If you're watching this, you need to do this. Just do one, like take one of her suggestions and go do an online event where you don't know anybody. It's going to be Zoom. You can always, or it's going to be a live stream, or some of these other suggestions that Gina has for software, but it's like you have the ability to leave, you have the ability to stop video if you're worried about that. So I think this is really a great opportunity to meet new people who have the same interests we do in our neighborhood, in our local area. So what are some ways to find online events?
Okay, so I have 10 little nuggets. So you might want a piece of paper and a pen so you can write these down. The first one is meetup.com.
Okay.
They're more active in metropolitan cities. You can find book clubs, wine clubs, running clubs, midnight dances, drum circles. So you don't necessarily have to network with business. You want to join groups that you have a passion for and have a similar interest, because then you'll have a common goal and then you'll actually get to know each other.
And that's a nugget right there. And it's Meetup. It's meetup.com. No S, right? Or is there an S?
No S.
No S. Okay, so meetup.com. But here's what I love about what Gina just said. I won't do this for all 10, trust me. But maybe it's like you got to recognize, right? And acknowledge. Oh, sorry. But here's the thing is passion is the cool thing about going for your interest and your passion is that if you are a realtor, you're going to be maybe the only realtor in the room. Whereas if you go business networking, then there might be 7 other realtors in the room with you, versus if you're doing, like I'm really big into travel baseball right now and have really kind of found a new network of people that I love. Well, I'm the only realtor in the room, so it's very, very powerful. So meetup.com. What's another one?
Eventbrite.com, and that's BRITE.
Okay.
If you search
and they
for
have
online
virtual.
events,
I know they have live events. Do they have virtual events too?
Yes. So you can search for online events and they'll pull up. There's hundreds of them.
Awesome.
And because they're online, you can attend any throughout the U.S., not just the ones in your local area. So you can find virtual happy hours. And then there's also classes that you can interact with.
Love it.
Seminars.
Love it. Eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com. They do both live and virtual events. The cool thing about that is you should probably know Eventbrite. Everybody here should probably familiarize yourself with Eventbrite, just from the aspect of you may want to run a live or virtual event, and Eventbrite will actually promote your event to hundreds of thousands of others. So they have a very good ecosystem at Eventbrite.
They do. And then also you can search Facebook you go through the groups. You can search for your interests that you want to, because they have their own events section. And then recently LinkedIn added their events. So you can also post them there or look for them on LinkedIn. And it's an unusual, so if you go to your home profile, it's on the left-hand side about 3/4 of the way down if you want to add your own. But then you can also search in the title bar for whatever you're looking for.
And that's on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's new, and most people aren't familiar with that.
I love it. And, LinkedIn's doing a lot more with video now. So it's LinkedIn's kind of becoming a player. I don't know if they ever left, but I know that everybody kind of flooded to Facebook for a while. And, if you look at the LinkedIn profile of the people who are on LinkedIn, it's a more affluent, more business-like environment. If you're B2B, you might find far better results on LinkedIn than you would on Facebook. Facebook seems to be kind of personal. LinkedIn kind of seems to be the professional side. So why not fish in a place where everybody's kind of got their professional hat on, versus on Facebook? You have to take them from like a person to a consumer to a business owner. So it's kind of like B2B to C with Facebook, versus on LinkedIn. It just seems you can really be B2B on that. So I love that. What's another one?
You should call your local chamber and see if they're hosting online events or if any of their members are holding online events to help support the local businesses.
Okay, that's genius. Call or reach out to your local chamber and find out. For many people, business is local, and it's great to meet local people. So I love that. And the chambers, what's interesting about, the generosity generation I love is that we not only have people who would join networking groups, we have people who would step up and lead networking groups. Here's what a lot of you might find out. You might go to your local chamber and they go, no, we don't have anything that we really know about. And that's where you go, you know what? How about if I just have one? Would you promote it out to your members that I'm going to do a virtual happy hour on Friday at 7:00? And they might be thrilled. They might not be thrilled, but the bottom line is that, be the one that step up, and maybe you start something that's bigger than you ever dreamed possible just by feeling a need. I love that. Some local chambers don't even have Facebook groups. I mean, it's like there's so much we could do right now. Yeah.
The next one is civicdinners.com.
Oh, what is that?
It is an organization that has a platform where you can either host or attend a virtual dinner. And they give you a set of 3 questions. Whenever you promote it, you invite people you don't know. And so you can use it to nurture your community, or they have one for a happy hour. If you have your own business, you can partner with Civic Dinners and they'll help you design your platform and your questions and then promote it throughout the U.S.
Love that. Civicdinners.com. And I love the fact that they give you the 3 questions to kick off the happy hour or the dinner. You don't have to think, it's just like, all right. And everybody knows the questions. It's like a board of advisors that we do. They come in, they know the 7 questions that we're going to cover, and they get a chance to answer it and have a little time. So I absolutely love that. What's another one?
Networkafterwork.com.
Network After Work. I like it. All right. What do you do there?
That one is a monthly subscription networking. So they have a virtual event every month. And normally they have them in person, but they've switched to the online process. So it's, I think it's a younger crowd than you would normally see, because they're usually they would meet before it was at bars.
Yeah.
So that's typically the feel for that one.
Yeah. So it's a little bit like Meetup, a little bit, where it's got that feel of the millennial or the 30 something. and it's networking after work, so it's like, if you're my age, networking after work there is no such thing, right? It's just like networking after work would be like a virtual sleep chamber, right? We would all just kind of sleep. So, civic dinners, is that local or national, global? What is that?
It is national.
Okay. But I can meet local people, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a genius find right there. Civicdinners.com, networkafterwork.com. What's another one?
The catch-all would be to use Google to search online events near me.
Yep.
Google is linked to Eventbrite and other platforms and other ticket providers. So they'll show up on the search because there's Ticket Buds, there's other companies that are competing with Eventbrite that people are using. They're not as popular, but you'll still see some of those.
Yeah, I love that. And do you have one or two more?
No, I just had a tip that you want to, whenever you're evaluating the
I lost
event.
count, to be totally honest with you. I was like, is that 8 or is that 10? So I apologize to the viewers who are like writing down their different numbers there. But we talked about earlier, like, how do you prepare for a live networking event? How do you prepare for a video call or a virtual networking event or a Zoom or whatever it may be?
Right. So if I'm hosting or moderating a meeting, I'll set up my computer the night before and make sure and do a reboot to make sure it goes through all of its updates, because you don't want that to happen during your call. And then I pick a quiet, distraction-free zone place in the house with as much natural light that you can have. If you don't have enough light, you can put a lamp behind your camera or use a ring light, and you can get ring lights now for $15, $30 on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. And then you want to turn off the overhead light, because that's what creates the shadows under the eyes, nose, and mouth. That you don't want to.
Do I have that going on right now?
No.
No overhead light right now.
And let others know in the house that you're going to be on the call and not to disturb you, hopefully. If you're expecting a package, you can leave a note over your doorbell asking them to just leave the package or come back.
Love that.
What else do I have? You don't want to be too close to the screen. People are, I can't see. Or too far away and down in your chair. I actually see this a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah. So you kind of want to be at eye level too with your camera, right? I've seen it where the camera is basically staring up at the bottom of their chin, and it's nice to have most cameras on most computers are going to be at the top level anyway, or you can get another camera you can plug in the USB, right?
And you also want to make sure that the camera is perpendicular to the floor. You want it flat, because then if you have it at an angle, then you are being seen at a wonky angle also.
Yeah, I love that. And how about as soon as we log on, what are some things that we can do to make the networking event go better, or our experience go better, or other people's experience of us to go better?
You want to keep yourself on mute, and if it's not automatically on mute, put yourself on mute. Before you turn on your video, you want to make sure that you're sitting in the right place, you have the right amount of headspace, kind of like you're going to take a picture of yourself. Is how you want to look in the picture.
I have to tell you, the mute one is a huge one. That's something that I've seen. I did 7 Zooms yesterday, so one of the things that I noticed was that they would come in and the wind would be blowing. Well, you don't know, though, you can't hear your own wind blowing, but everybody else can. So going on mute is just kind of that really respectful thing to do that shows an awareness. It also shows that you're kind of a veteran of virtual networking and, not a newbie, and we don't want to be that. So how about any final words of wisdom on people who are virtual networking, suggestions, that kind of thing?
Besides wearing bottoms?
Wearing pants? Don't wear pants. That's like the running joke right now, is that don't wear pants. Like it's like professional on top, casual on the bottom, so.
Right. You never know. Like earlier, my dog broke in. He can open doors. He has this amazing trick. So you never know when you have to pop up.
That is such a great word of advice, is to wear pants, like wear bottoms. Like, don't go bottomless on your virtual networking, because you just never, it'll be the time. Like the one time you're trying to get away with it in your underwear or your boxers is the time that you'll have to go to the restroom, or somebody knocks on the door or whatever it may be. And you're like, you're stuck. You'll do this. You'll try to ease your way out of the screenshot. So I love that. That's good stuff.
Also, in a group setting, you want to, before you go to speak, you can raise your hand and have the moderator call on you, or you can, if you hear a blank in the conversation, you can say, "No, this is Gina. You know, I wanted to talk about whatever." So saying your name, like if you have a bunch of people in the chat, it'll move your box to the screen. Because normally you can only hold like 9 or 10 on the screen. If there's more than, I wouldn't recommend having more than 24 in the group, because then it gets too.
So I would just say like 3 things on that, and then I'll let you go. I mean, this has been phenomenal. I could talk for hours with you. I think 1 is be strategic with the rename of your name. You know, use of your name is very important, but you can even, like, I can go through here and rename myself, where it's like, all right, what do I want people to, remember, or my company name? Don't just let it be the name. And then I love what you said about when you point a finger. If you're a moderator or you're running a group, have somebody just put up a finger to be acknowledged, and then write down who's next. If you have several people who have done that, just say, all right, we've got Polly, we got Gina, and then we'll go to Rita. Right? And write those down and then check them off as they get a chance to speak if you're moderating. The other thing that I love is, all right, this is Gina Bordeaux, especially if you have a name like Maher or Bordeaux, that might be a little bit difficult. Like, you look at it, you're like, EAUX is O? No, it's not, right? But if they knew a little French, they'd be fine. So I think it's one of those where I love that. And then when you come off mute, just make sure you're off mute, and then, hey, this is Michael Maher. I just wanted to say this. I absolutely love that. And you're checking the mic when you say your name, and people are remembering. It's like we always say that the answer is referrals. When somebody says, what can I do for you? Or how can I help you? You just say referrals, and then you fill it in from there. The thing that they'll actually remember from what you said is the first word, is referrals. So I love that. Oh my gosh, we're out of time. I mean, it's like, this has been like so much fun. And here's the thing. I do want to give a shout out on this. This is that if you need an online presence, you're a brick and mortar, or you don't have a online presence, or you need your online presence reevaluated, I would definitely recommend Gina Bordeaux. Check her out. Gina, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they reach out to you or get a hold of you to do an evaluation or start their online presence?
Right. So you can reach me at hello@ginabordeaux.com.
Oh, I like that. Hello@ginabordeaux. Is it spelled BORDEAUX.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Just like it says right there.
There you go. Very good. So here's an example of what Gina could do in a future Zoom. Is she could put Gina Bordeaux, or she could put ginabordeaux.com as the rename as her name, which, I mean, she has ginabordeaux.com. That's so cool. I don't have michaeljmaher.com, I don't think. Oh yeah, I do. But so anyway, so I love that. Gina, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being our guest today on the Daily Dose of Positivity and Productivity. And also I want to say thank you for your patience and understanding with the technology these days.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, members, viewers, listeners of The Daily Dose. This is The Daily Dose of Positivity and Productivity. We will see you on the next episode of The Daily Dose.